England schooled India in the rematch of the 2017 World Cup final. So much discussion from the commentators, journalists, even on social media about this India side and what they need to do to improve. So let's delve a little bit deeper here on Cricbuzz. For those that missed the match, here's a quick recap of what happened. England won the toss and sent India in. And when the openers did not fire, Sthalekar, the debutant, and Smriti Mandana, the innings of India really did halter. Mithali Raj and Poonam Raut just dropped their anchor and the innings was not going anywhere. Yes, they weren't losing wickets, but the scoreboard wasn't going in the right direction. Mithali Raj was the top scorer with 72, Poonam Raut the next top of 32. But because they ate up so many balls, it wasn't until the 42nd over that they decided to take a few more risks. And unfortunately, 201 runs was never going to be enough. England bowlers were exceptional. Catherine Brunt, she won that battle against Shafali Verma. I can't wait to see a few more battles between the two of them. I reckon it's about 1-1. And then Sophie Ecclestone did what she does best by picking up the key wickets of Mithali Raj, Harmanpreet Kaur and Dipti Sharma. For England, the chase was simple. Tammy Beaumont and Nat Siver were able to chase down the modest total with still 91 deliveries left and 8 wickets in hand. One thing I was able to notice straight away is that the England batters firstly put away the loose ball. Whenever there's a full toss, a half volley or a poor ball down leg side, they put it away to the boundary. That puts pressure straight back onto the bowler, something that India didn't do. The second thing is that they hit the ball harder than the Indian batters. And you saw that even in the fielding. India were a little bit slow. And they probably are missing some of their best fielders with Jemima Rodrigues and Veda Krishnamurti not on the touring party. Then they're willing to take risks. And that's something that the Indian batters just did that a little bit too late. So England were able to defeat India and absolutely trounce them in the first ODI. And this is where we need to have an uncomfortable conversation. One thing I have noticed about Indian cricketers, and especially females, is they look pretty. They play pretty cricket. Everything's technically correct. The cover drives are great. But pretty cricket versus ugly cricket, there's a difference. Ugly cricket sometimes gets you runs. Pretty cricket manages to hit the fielders, and that's what the Indian players do. Shafali Verma is probably the only one out of that Indian batting side that plays ugly cricket. And boy, she's exciting, isn't she? So work needs to be done for the batters that are sitting on the sideline and waiting to potentially come in, but also those that are currently in the playing 11. They need to be able to work the ball a lot more. They can't afford to just sit there and play nicely to the fielders. They need to be able to move around the crease. One thing that I've seen the Australians do a lot is that they're willing to change their guard to even as the bowler's coming in, just to try and upset the bowler and their rhythm. That's what these Indian players need to do. The second thing that I want to touch on is when you look at the engine room of this Indian batting side, it comes down to Poonam Raut, Mithali Raj and Harmanpreet Kaur. Between the three of them, close to 400 ODIs and over 12,000 runs. Yet, everyone feels that this is the area of concern for India. Now, it's not that far away, the 50 over World Cup. So what does India do now? Do they actually make a change and give some of the youngsters a go? We've got to remember that there's only 2 more ODIs in this series. Then they've got a series against Australia, 3 ODIs, and potentially one against West Indies and maybe something against New Zealand before the World Cup. So what? That's about 10 games? That's not a lot of cricket. So if you're going to make a change, I think you've got to make it now. Unfortunately, I think that means Poonam Raut has to go. You're not going to drop your captain and your vice captain, especially not just yet. So Mithali Raj comes to 3, which I've been calling for a while. Harmanpreet Kaur at 4. So who do you bring in? I think you've got to give maybe a chance to Richa Ghosh. We haven't seen a lot of her. She's a big striker of the ball. Dipti Sharma can come up to that number 5 position and put a Richard Gosh or someone younger, Indrani Roy, someone completely different. The problem that India face is that the last time they had the series against South Africa, domestic cricket was taking place. So someone like a Jemima Rodrigues, Priya Punia, they didn't play domestic cricket to get lots of runs under their belt, to feel comfortable and confident. And being someone that's sitting here in Australia and watching, I don't get to see them train. I don't get to see how well they're striking the ball, those players sitting on the sideline. So there are some questions that need to be asked, and no doubt the selectors and Mitali Raj as the ODI captain will be sitting down and going, what do we need to do? Harmanpreet Kaur again unfortunately didn't fire, and there's got to be some real concerns about her moving forward. Let's hope India can turn it around in this second ODI. Otherwise, there is going to be a lot of headache for this Indian side as they move forward throughout the series.